Hi, my name is Alexandria DeFlorio, and today I would like to talk to you about homeless youth in Arizona. According to AZ Central, currently 30,000 children and teenagers who are enrolled in our public school system are homeless. That number is so scary because it's so high, and it does not include the children and teenagers who are not enrolled in our public school programs. So how does this happen? How do our teenagers and how do our children become homeless? What are we doing wrong? Well, according to AZ Central, the main cause stems from home life, typically physical abuse, emotional abuse, sexual abuse, and neglect. Basically, it's just a very hostile home environment, and the children and teenagers either leave voluntarily or they get kicked out due to the hostility. According to the National Conference of State Legislature, there are many risks for these children and teenagers once they are on the streets. It is not a good place for them to be. There is a raise in unsafe sex, intravenous drug use, prostitution, as well as just psychological damage. Many of these children and teenagers have anxiety, depression, lowered self-esteem, and there's a higher rate of suicidal tendencies in these children and teenagers. So what happens to these teenagers and children once they become adults? Well, unfortunately, due to these risky behaviors that they have to participate in to survive, there is incarceration, unplanned pregnancy, sexually transmitted disease, sexually transmitted infection, drug addiction, as well as just a very heavy psychological impact from all of this. So what can we do? Arizona does have resources. We do have homeless shelters. We do have transitional living. We do have outreach programs. We do have nutrition assistance, but it doesn't reach everyone. According to the National Conference of State Legislature, many states have legislation in place to help these teenagers and children, to help prevent homelessness and also to help them once they become homeless. Arizona does not have that legislation, so we need to get that in place. But beyond that, another thing that we can do is we need to start educating. We need to educate our teachers because they are the ones who are with our children for a majority of the time. We need to educate them on what to look out for. We need to educate them on how to notice when a child is at risk for homelessness or what to notice to know that a child is currently homeless. We also need to teach our teachers what resources to use if they think that a child is homeless. Who do they contact? Who do they connect the child with? Things like that. We also need to educate the children. I know for myself, I never received education about this. I'm sure many people didn't either. Children need to become educated about homelessness and what it means and what the resources are. We need to say, hey, if something happens in your home life and you need somewhere to go or you need someone to take care of you, this is who you need to contact and this is where you need to go. Because many children don't know that. I'm sure there are many children and teenagers out on the streets today who don't realize what kind of resources are available for them and that they don't have to be in that position right now. So just to go over what we talked about, I referenced AZ Central as well as the National Conference of State Legislature. We talked about the cause of homelessness in our youth, the risks of being homeless, just kind of the adult outlook, as well as what we can do to fix this. Thank you so much for listening. I appreciate it.